Welcome back in. Here's a look at your winter storm impacts on what's still to come. Now we're seeing that snow into northern Kentucky, rain into far southern Kentucky, and ice, that freezing rain and sleet in between those two areas. Overnight tonight, we do expect several hours of freezing rain possible right along I-64, a little bit north or a little bit south of that. And then Monday, we are expecting tomorrow a changeover back to snow and that refreeze likely. And then the week ahead, frigid temperatures. So if you do lose power from this freezing rain, it is going to be very, very cold this week. Make sure you're taking those precautions to protect the pipes at your home. I mentioned our cameras being a little iced over right now. The horse park, one of those cameras, but this is the time lapse as this. Watch this intense burst. That second burst of snow that moved through, that's ground blizzard conditions right there. You can barely see, really put down that accumulation. That's how we ended up with 5 to 6 inches in the area. Right there is when the camera actually went out for a little bit there towards the end of that time lapse. Still have that winter storm warning out for the area. Again, our southern Kentucky counties got added to that, excluding the counties right along the Tennessee border there. Those areas haven't dealt with too many impacts. So good news for you there in the Wayne County, especially southern Wayne County, southern McCreary counties as well. This is the concern through the overnight hours, that ½ inch or more of ice potential, ½ inch to ½ an inch across really from the Bluegrass Parkway south towards our southern Kentucky parkways. Northern Kentucky, I think you stay sleet or snow for most of this, so that's some good news for you. Temperatures out there right now, we've got low 20s to the north, low 30s, still at or below freezing. I will say, though, a little bit of good news that we're already up to 32 in Richmond, Danville, Mount Vernon. Now, once the second burst of some precipitation moves in, that will briefly cool us down a little bit, but it is good news that those areas are already up to that freezing mark. We want to get above that number for sure, especially after all that snow that moved through. So that mixed line now likely up towards the stamping ground area, Scott County northward, so Flemingsburg likely still dealing with some heavy snow. Owen County, you've got some heavy snow for you. A little bit of a dry slot right now developing, some drier conditions across southern Kentucky. Even if the radar's not showing anything and you see some light rain falling out there, if the temperature's at or below freezing, you're seeing freezing rain. Looking around the area, I've added on, this is the 850 millibar wind, so winds 1 mile to 2 miles up. Look how much faster those winds are. We're seeing severe weather. I had a tornado watch there in the Mississippi. That is that strong low-level jet stream, bringing in all the moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, but it's what also is providing us kind of that messed up precipitation. You have rain down towards Nashville. From south central Kentucky up towards Lawrenceburg, you've got that freezing rain as that warmer air is being brought over top of that cold air that's right at the surface. Basic science tells you cold air is more dense than warm air. So you get this low-level jet stream, it reaches this cold air at the surface, and it erodes it slowly but surely. It's like the waves crashing in to the beach on those beach dunes. It eventually erodes it enough to where you get sleet at that second level instead of the freezing rain, and then there is snow where you've seen temperatures below freezing for that entire column. But once you get that warmer air moving in, it melts those snowflakes. Sleet, it refreezes enough to create those little ice pellets that have been falling. We want sleet. Sleet is good news. That freezing rain, that's the bad news, and we have that in the forecast through the remainder of the evening hours. Futurecast shows that threat, snow to the north, sleet in between that and the freezing rain. Watch as these temperatures start to climb a little bit closer to freezing later into the nighttime. We want to be above freezing during this, likely a little bit of a freezing drizzle tomorrow morning, and then we change over mid to late morning back to snow. Temperatures drop quickly, and it gets very cold out there. So our risks through the overnight hours and into tomorrow. Travel impacts as high as it gets, folks. That is definitely the biggest concern. Power outages likely with this. Also, we will see that high snow amounts. I mean, we've got 6 inches. We could see 6 to 10 inches across the northern half of the area. There's a look at your full 7-day forecast. So remain vigilant tomorrow with that snow moving on in, and then it gets cold. Thursday morning, actual temperature down to 0. Be feeling like below 0 before our eyes on another system moving in Friday into Saturday.